you push me past the breaking point.
Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. Let's see what this video entails because I'm actually a little low on memory because I have a few movies to edit. But I got my beer in hand so I could feel American. Even if I don't drink it, I can hold it and get the same feeling. Oh, there goes my lemon. First check up and down, portrait mode instead of landscape mode. Props. Let's start.
We'll call him Fred. And about 4 years ago, I saw him, and everything in me went shazam. It's just, I got a chance to know him, or he got a chance to know me. And then we talked about it, you and I, and we talked about this specific thing, but I can't let go of this. I am unwritten, can't read my mind.
Okay, so I've been doing my research on accident on Madonna for like the longest time ever, and today I got led down the path of Madonna's Bland Ambition tour. First started at the girly show, and then I got brought down to the Blonde Ambition tour. And then when I started viewing the Blonde Ambition tour, I looked up Blonde Ambition makeup for the tour because the makeup was so iconic. It was, and this leads up to like the past weeks that I've been doing research on Madonna because I wanted to know what makeup she was using or what her makeup artist was using, her tips and everything. And for step one, she's cream makeup to do that white face, and then it looked like cream bronzer because it looked really natural, and I know you can't do that with powder, so I want to do that, and I had that thought to do that, but then I was like, I don't want to shave, and I was just like, oh, let me try Blonde Ambition full coverage makeup on a mustache on a face and play with the feminine eye shape that she done, because she had that big dark brow, that lifted crease, wing liner, and then white. I've been trying to do it, but I never really go the full way with it because I don't really use cream makeup. But I have this cream stick that I bought before. So today you will be joining me if you click on this video title on our Blonde Ambition makeup tour. Let's go. I was like, am I ready to film this? But what if I die today? Yep, that's cream makeup. I did not think I would be putting on cream makeup today. So that's what got me to sit down and do this today. Because if I knew I was gonna do it, I would have resisted it. It's more exciting to go with the flow. I was gonna use primer. My face is a little oily from last night's rest and my moisturizer, so we're okay. I'm gonna need to use all the surface face that I have. How's my hair look? Okay. I'm always excited by the makeup where you can see that it's a foundation base with a white highlight or a one colored skin with features brought up. I'm always excited by that. But I never really do it on myself. Or I have to it because I'll rather be grungy and play with it. But today I want to give you full Madonna tease with a mustache. White concealer. I forgot I had all these products. So it's awesome to play with them. My idea with this is I want to sharpen this up like this. Should we put more coverage? Yes. Okay, starting to talk with looking up the references that her makeup artist was doing for her. The number one thing she done, as she said, was she used cream makeup so that it could stay on for stage. And I like that because you can always, if you zoom in close enough and you look at textures of product, you can always tell when someone's using a cream or someone's using a liquid because it looks different. If you use a liquid foundation or a liquid concealer, you can still see your skin under it. which is nice. But when you have a cream, you can tell because it looks like a cream layer over your skin and you can't really see the skin under it. It's like the flawless look. And I feel like now in 2020, it's been about, or more like 2018, 2019 was really about the natural looking foundations that were made out of liquid, where you can look like you're not wearing makeup, or if you're gonna wear full coverage, it still looks like your skin because it has ingredients that are emollient to it. And back then, what did it say, 75, 1975 or 85? They just used makeup for its purpose, which was makeup or stage. Like the glam rock, you can tell that it's not foundation from 2018, because if it was, it would look really differently. But I feel like that's the whole point. That's the reason why they were using it, because it was more of a fuck you. Like if you look in the mirror, that's a cool shot. And you look at yourself on a camera, or if you record something and you watch it back on a camera, it's not always the same feeling. I've noticed it's not the same feeling that you had when you were recording it. It comes out differently because right now, like, I bringing up that topic talking about makeup, it looks so much different myself looking at it through the mirror than it does reflecting off the camera screen to me. Like to the camera screen, to me, it's like blinked out, and then through this mirror, maybe because I'm in front of the ring light, it looks fine. But if I look that way, it looks more white, which is really interesting. And that's why I like the editing process of movies, or of makeup, or of a makeup video. Because if you don't say anything, then it's up to the interpretation of anyone or yourself of what it says about you, about the picture, about the times. And I was really gonna talk myself out of playing with makeup because I looked at my skin. I was like, oh, finally it looks a little clearer. Do I really want to mess it up with makeup? That's like the most basicest thought I've ever thought in my life. I did not come here to talk myself out of awesome ideas. At least not anymore. And Madonna is pretty fucking awesome. We're looking at her from an outside point of view, and not a human to human, but more of like a psychological base, I guess. It's a cool American story. It's a cool human storyline. Cause I was looking at the tour videos that were on YouTube, the two that I came across over. And I was like, how the hell did she fill up 80,000 seats? That's like a human phenomenon. Pop culture human phenomenon. American pop culture human phenomenon. Do I look like Madonna yet? And if you look at makeup or think about makeup, it all is just shapes. It's just beautiful shapes. Because after you set it down completely, you see that it's just shapes. I was watching Painted by Spencer, which is a makeup channel, a makeup artist channel, and he pinched the brush when he was putting this on. So let's try this out. I made a mental note in my head that I was gonna thank him for that tip when the next inspiration came through to film a makeup video, and now I'm here on August 2nd, 2020, doing it. And this is a little hard to blend out. Okay, but the tip that he gave was you pinch your bronzer brush to not dirty another brush. Like how he sculpted out the nose. Because if you use a really small brush to sculpt out your nose, you end up wasting like 3 minutes. And those 3 minutes you could have been doing something else. And it just looked nice how he carved it down. Imagine if my nose was that small and sharp. And she had defined features like the white, 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 brown, brown, white. And I just had the image pop in my head of Gigi Good. And maybe that's why I loved her makeup so much. And I think that's why we like pop stars, or we like people doing cool things. To look at it and just say that I like that. You see, when you look down, it looks like a white line of like fat coverage. I like that. And you could tell in someone's video if that's what's happening with the look or with the coverage that's happening. It's the truth. The sexual. Everything inside is sexual. Okay, I want to try a new palette. Now I'm going into her cut it out crease. And I'm placing the coverage of the powder in the innermost socket. Because I've been wanting to try it. To connect it to the nose, to see how a drag nose would look like. I always thought it was makeup before personality, or example, a brand before the creator behind it, but it's the creator expressing itself onto the brand. I always thought it was the opposite. Or if it was the concept of makeup and then you did it, but if it's actually you going into the concept. Well, that's what my journey on YouTube, on the beauty section of YouTube has taught me, or my life experience has taught me. This guy, and he was really cool, and we were talking about the new option where it has wait and save, so you can wait a couple minutes, like 30 minutes, and you can save up to 90 cents. And he said he asked me how long I waited, and I was like, I think it was like 25 or 30 minutes, and then he said some people have waited up to like 45 minutes and been late to work, and then they get like frustrated at him. And we were on that conversation, and his point of view was like, because he just works for Liz. He's like, I just got the memo to pick you up 5 minutes ago. And that brought up the statement that people or you see the brand first behind the person, so you get mad about the brand and not the person that's actually driving you there. I thought that was really cool. And I was wondering what shapes they would use on Madonna, because it was like 5 simple steps. Well, it looks like 5 simple steps. It looks like a white face, bronzer, raised lid, liner, brow, red lip. Maybe it looked like no steps because she had the face to hold it. She had a really good foundation of bones. I don't have Duraline for this Inglot gel liner, so let's use eye drops. It looks a little faded, but maybe it's an ombre liner. Another tip that I saw painted by Spencer do is that he just used his finger to flick it out so it could disperse the product, so you don't have to do it with the brush. And I saw Kevin Aquan do it in a book or on video. I always thought it looked really cool. I never actually done it, so that's kind of exciting to me at this moment. Okay, now I want that big Madonna brow. I was thinking about the makeup that I would do to go to school when I was 15 or 16 to high school. And I was thinking about my brows and how big they were and how dark they were. But I just reframed that memory to, it was so Madonna-esque. And I loved it. I remember I used to squinch my brows like this, like so I could see the shape and then sketch them in. Because I wanted them to look like that when I wasn't making that face.
Because it could be something as you might call it, we don't, but you might call it something as insignificant as feeling like, oh, I think I'll make my
I have the video clip
I have some time. I think I'll take a moment
of myself walking in the hallways with my full coverage Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation
find yourself feeling these urges or impulses that will be
and black brows.
source energy. Because
I was using dip brows, so that says enough about how my brows look.
want to be and knows what the path will most allow.
And for my brow, I'm just taking it from the top
Don't wait for big
and sketching it out.
Don't wait for the big thoughts. Don't wait for
Um,
exactly what
so I just have 2 eyebrow tails now.
later and later and later. Let it come to you in the frequency and in the momentum that you are able to receive.
But it's okay because Madonna, at the beginning of her career, I read on an Instagram post, oh no, it was a magazine cover of the makeup artist. I don't know how they needed to convince Madonna to pluck her brows, and her excuse or her reasoning was she didn't want to pluck them because it tailored back to her Hispanic roots, and she liked that hairy brow. So we're channeling also Madonna at the beginning of her career.
When you focus in an attitude of pushing against something, what you're
And now I want to channel Sharon Tate with the brows, hairs in the front.
you are at, and then the law of attraction
She had like 4 going up and then the rest groomed down, like horizontally.
against not being able to help from doing that for a little while. What we're asking you to do is give yourself a break and everybody else too. This is a wonderful what you will call a sort of getting back to what you want to call normal. We want you to know normal is not ever going to be what it ever was before. It's going to be so much better because of the upheaval of your own thoughts, because of the launching of your new rockets, and because of the collective consciousness, the collective vortex that is summoning in a powerful way. Sometimes, when you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, you don't recognize that this situation is helpful in you getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready for things you plan.
I always viewed makeup as paint, but I never applied makeup as paint.
Complaining about not being possible,
And after painting for a little bit,
adjustment to what's going on, you are seeing that there are solutions.
I kind of like that point of view.
Manifest solutions. And equally asking that you are more broadly asking for, like,
Wanna get to